Hey guys, how you doing today? I wanted to come to you with a quick leadership video because I want to tackle this idea of helping us realize that in the church, every member is a minister. Every member is a minister. Now, when we think about what the church is all about, the church is all about Jesus. It's all about Jesus. But when Jesus came, he didn't want his ministry to end with him. He passed his ministry on to disciples. Now, the ministry is all about him, but he wasn't the only one that did the ministry. He raised up disciples who did the ministry. And the Apostle Paul teaches us how to be disciples, and he talks about the importance of this discipleship progression. And in 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 2, it says this: "You have heard me teach things that have been confirmed by many reliable witnesses. Now teach these truths to other trustworthy people who will be able to pass them on to others." And so today, I just want to look at this and put together a quick drawing for you to help you just see this for a minute. It all started with the Apostle Paul. And the Apostle Paul took his assignment as a disciple and a disciple maker serious. So he received the gospel from Jesus in a supernatural way while he was still persecuting Christians. But he took that gospel and he passed it on to others. He passed it on to Timothy. And so we have the book of 1 Timothy because he passed the good news on. And so he passed it on to Timothy, and he told Timothy to pass it on to others. And so Timothy passed that good news on to others, and he said that they might pass it on to others. And so this is the gospel that gets passed on for an eternity. So today, I want to help you think about this for a minute. The good news came to Jesus, from Jesus to Paul. And that same progression that he followed to pass the word on to Timothy, to raise Timothy up as a leader, and not only end it that Timothy received the message, but to tell Timothy you are to now entrust this message downstream. Timothy took the message and he passed it on to others. He had disciples and he taught those disciples to pass it on to others. And so where are we in this picture? Well, I guess we could start anywhere, but let's just say someone led you to the Lord. And then you received that message. Now, that message that we receive, we need to make sure that it's a faithful message, that it's a trustworthy message. Just like the Apostle Paul, you said, you know the message is good. You received it from me, and it's confirmed by many reliable witnesses. We make sure that we're obeying the time-tested, true, supernatural message of Jesus Christ. And when we believe we've received that message, he said, pass this on to others. And so we pass it on. This is the people you are discipling. Did you know that you're supposed to have disciples? Man, the people that you share the gospel with are the people that you now raise up. The people that you teach how to follow Jesus. We know that in a family context. As a parent, it's our job to teach our children. But how do we do just out in culture? How do we do in the church? If you invite someone to church, are you now trying to raise that person up in the faith and help them grow in their faith, that they don't have to wander and hope to figure it out? Because the reality is, on Sunday mornings, it could take a year or two, or maybe even 3, until I preach a subject that might matter to that person. But as a Christian, of having been further along in the journey of the faith as this person, you can answer their questions, or you can help them find the answers to the questions in the Bible. You can teach them how to study the Bible, that they can find those answers. And as you do help them do that, you're teaching them to go make more disciples, to share the good news, and then teach those disciples how to share the good news. So that's their disciples, because they're sharing that gospel with others. Listen, I think that God's really going to help us turn a corner as a church, and I'm excited about it. And so I want to say, you know what? It's time for us to grow in our faith. It's time for us to level up. It's time for us to advance. It's time for us to understand the calling that God has for us. And so I believe that as we've been seeking God this year and we're saying, God, we want to go deeper and wider, I believe that we're about to start seeing a season where we're going to be able to really do that. We're going to grow deeper in our faith, and we're going to be intentional about being a disciple and making disciples. And so this is not just a journey for Paul. This is not just an assignment for Timothy or Timothy's disciples. It's not just a job for Pastor Pat or the other church leaders. It's a job for everyone. Someone shared the good news with you, and you received it. And it's your assignment to pass it on and teach others about Jesus, and then teach them their assignment to teach others the good news. If this didn't happen, the gospel would have ended with Jesus. And he would have just had a couple people that gave their life to him and got saved, and the message would have ended. But the message didn't end because he kept it going. And so our challenge today is to keep that message going and to say, I want you to identify today, where are you in this journey? Who are you sharing your faith with? Who do you need to begin discipling and saying, how can I help you grow in your faith? How can I teach you how to share your faith? How can I help you teach you how to teach those you're sharing your faith with how to share their faith? And if we get that right, the gospel is going to go to the ends of the earth, and we are going to multiply. We're going to replicate ourselves. We're going to reproduce, and then that reproduction is going to be multiplication. And for until Christ comes back, there's going to be new people finding hope in Jesus. So, hey, God bless you guys, and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this video helps you grow and realize that every member is a minister. Every one of us has an assignment before God to share the good news to the ends of the earth. And so God bless you guys. Thanks for listening, and keep growing.